Okay, guys, this is part two. So, where we left off at. So, like I was saying, he had pulled my thing over and he touched my breast with both hands. Like he had his hands up like this, and he was touching me. So now I started crying, and I was crying out loud, like hysterically. So he ran. Like I said, I told you in part one, he ran. So I put my dress on and I ran out. When I ran out, the crazy part was Wayne, my husband, was sitting in the car waiting for me. So now when I got into the car, I must have looked like a ghost because Wayne was saying, "What's wrong?" And I said, "Nothing." I was scared to tell him what happened, you know. Excuse me. So he pulls off, we go home, and I called my cousin. As soon as I got in the house, I called my cousin and I told her exactly what happened. And she was like, "Oh my God." She said, "Oh my God, call the cops now. Call now." And I said, "No, I, I can't call the cops. I'm scared and I'm embarrassed." I kept saying, "I'm embarrassed. I'm a grown woman and I allowed this. I blame myself. I allowed this to happen to me." And I kept blaming myself. So, okay. So now I didn't tell the police. So now, anytime somebody was to come like near me, I would like jump. So it was times where Wayne would like touch me, and I would jump, and he was like, "What is wrong with you? What's wrong?" He kept asking, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" But like I said, I was embarrassed and I was scared, and I really did not want to tell Wayne because I was scared he might hurt him, and I didn't want him to go to jail. So, excuse me. Me and Wayne went to Jersey, and I had told my sister what happened. She lost it. She was like, "Oh my God, please call the cops." And I'm like, "No, I'm scared. I don't want to do this. I'm embarrassed. I even allowed this to happen to me." So when we were sitting, she has a on her porch. It's enclosed, so you could just sit in there in the lounge chair and all that stuff there. So Wayne was just jokingly, tried to kiss me, and I actually jumped, and he was like, "Something is wrong here." So my sister seen that, and she was like, "Did you tell him?" And I was like, "No." So now time is going by. Time is going by. Mind you, I never went back. I didn't go back. So, yes, I did. I'm sorry. Yes, I did. I needed to speak to the doctor, the my psychiatrist, and I did speak to him. Y'all, this man, he was like, "Oh, before if please don't call the cops." Now, mind you, it's not him that did this. It's the man that took, when he was absent, he hired. So he was like, "Oh, can you not call the cops and we'll get together and we'll talk? You know, we're gonna talk." So I guess they was thinking like, I don't know. I don't know, and I didn't give a damn. So now I went back and I said, "I need to speak to." It was a female. It was a female there, a female doctor there. So when I had gotten to the chair, called me. She was like, "Oh, how you doing? What if I never examined you?" I said, "No, I don't get examined here," and I didn't even know they had somebody that get examined here. She was like, "Yeah, but I never, why?" I said, "I go to my own doctor," and I let her know, everything, whatever. So I had asked her. I said, "Can I tell you something?" And she was like, sure. So I explained to her what he did to me. And I told her he wrote me a prescription of some medicine and it made me very sick and I was bleeding. And she was like, what? And I was like, yeah. So now she gets my chart. She opens it and she goes, he has no medicine written down that he gave you. I said, ma'am, I have. Can y'all wait just 1 second? Let me just put, I'll hold your pad. So I said, I have the medicine. I'll bring you the medicine. And she was like, oh my God, call the cops now. And I was like, no, I'm scared. I'm embarrassed. I'm a grown woman. I don't understand how. So she was furious. And now she's saying, he gave you medication and he didn't put it in the chart. Like he didn't put nut. She showed it to me. She said, he did not give you. I said, ma'am, I have the medicine. I'll show you. I'll show you the medicine. So now I didn't go back anymore. So now every night I go to sleep. I'm having nightmares. Just crazy nightmares. Wayne couldn't touch me because I kept jumping. I didn't know what to tell him. So now like 2 weeks went by, same thing going on. My cousin was like, "Yo, you're gonna have to, report him or whatever." And I was like, "No, I'm scared. I'm embarrassed. I'm a grown woman. I sound stupid. To allow this man to do this to me." So mind you, I keep going to sleep and having these crazy behind nightmares that this man is choking me, all kinds of stuff I'm having of this man he's doing to me in my dreams. So now the dreams just got very, very intense. So now I had called my dad. Y'all, I had to call my father because it got so bad. The nightmares was so bad. I had to call my dad. I'm thirsty, y'all. So my dad, I had called my dad, and I said, "Daddy, I have something to tell you." And he was like, "What's wrong?" He called me baby girl. He said, "What's wrong, baby girl?" So I said, I went to this doctor. The doctor that I go to, something happened. So he was like, "What you mean?" So I said, "Well, my doctor was absent that day, and he had somebody to step in, and I explained to him like he made me, do what take my clothes off and touch me. And not even that, I left this out. When he was touching me, y'all, like for real on everything. When he was like doing my, yeah, he was just breast. Like when he was doing his hair, his his eyes was going down. You know, now mind you, I told y'all it is not an examining table. It's a table. It looks like an exam table, but it's only the kind that you sit up on. Like you just sit. You sit here. You can't lay down because it's small. So now my legs was dangling. Because I'm laying this way, my legs are dangling off the thing. So now I seen him go down towards my. So that's what really made me like start crying or whatever. So anyway, I told my dad, I never forget, it was on a Saturday. My father was like, get up now. Get up. I want you to get up right this minute. And I'm like, okay. So he was like, keep me on the phone and I want you to go to the police station. And I'm like, Dad, no, I'm afraid and I'm embarrassed. He said, go now. So now I'm I'm walking to the precinct. Like, for real. I'm walking to the, this is not long ago. So it wasn't that long ago. So now I'm walking to the precinct and I'm scared. My dad's still on the phone. He was like, you almost there? I was like, yeah. I wanted to walk because I need to clear my head. So he was like, fine, just stay on the phone with me. Now, mind you, I get to the police station. hmm I get to the police station. Now, you already know it was a lady in the booth. I don't know how they, you know how they have it. It's like she's behind the the, the plexiglass. So she was like, "Come in." So when I came in, I had my head down, right, and I told her what happened. Oh my God, she was like, "Wait, what? This back up. Wait, tell me this again." So I told her what he did to me. She was like, "Ma'am, he assaulted you. He, you, he awed you." And I was like, "No, he did not, you know." And she was like, "He didn't have to. This is, oh, oh my God." So now I'm like, I'm shaking. I'm just shaking like, oh my God, oh my God. I shouldn't have never came in here. Oh my God. So now she left. I'm sitting there. I'm still sitting in the office. She left out. So she was like, "Come." So mind you, she asked all the male officers to vacate. There's no male officers there, but the lieutenant and stuff is like up. You know, they up here. It's like, I'm sure it's those. It's where they be at. So they're all looking at me like, "Oh my God, I am so sorry. I am so sorry." So the female was like, "You just, is he open now?" And I was like, "I don't go on Saturday. I go on a, regular day." And I said, "But they're open." So she was like, "Okay." So she was like, "We're gonna drive you home." Oh, before that even happened, I was sitting down, right? I'm getting a little emotional from this though. I was sitting down. So like I said, she had asked all the males to excuse themselves, but they know why. So now she said, "We're going there now. We get in the car and we're going now." So all the male officers walked and they all tapped me and was like, "I'm sorry. I'm sorry." So I was embarrassed. I was really embarrassed. And I don't want anyone, any woman or man to ever be embarrassed like this. This is crazy. It's really crazy. So let me just want me something to drink. So now they was like, "We're gonna drive you home. We're gonna drive you home, and we're going to get this guy." And I was like, "Okay, this is Dr. Pepper, y'all." I don't usually drink soda, but I don't know, I need something. So anyway, so they took me home. They went there. It was open, but he wasn't there. Okay, so they called me on the phone. No, they came here. They came here, and they was like, "Listen, we went there, and he wasn't there. And do you like, what is your regular doctor name?" I told them the regular name, and I said he was absent. This is why the guy happened to be there. So Next day come, the police calls me and was like, Pamela, I just want to let you know that he's on the run. He is on the run. They said he lived in Long Island, and they said we went to his house, and you can see he has children because they had the little bicycles and things like outside. This is what they was telling me. And he said no sign of nobody was there. Nobody. So I don't know, because I don't know this guy. So now I'm like, oh my God, this guy is gonna kill me. Like, he's gonna kill me. Like, I'm scared right now. Like, this is crazy. Like, he is seriously on the run. So, my dad called Wayne. Because, my husband didn't know. I didn't tell him. My father called him. He came in from work. And he looked at me. He went into the restroom, to the bathroom. And I'm like, oh my God. And when I got up, because he was quiet, when I got up, he was crying, y'all. I've never seen him cry before. His mom passed away. His dad passed away. Maybe he cried inside. But I know I didn't see him cry till that day. So now I had to tell him. I was scared to tell you. He said, but I was there. I was outside in the car. I was like, I know. I was embarrassed. And I thought you was going, if I would have told you, I thought you would have, hurt him, kill him or something. And I don't want you to go to jail for this. So you can imagine how he was feeling. He was like, I was there when this man did this, and you didn't tell me. And I was like, I wasn't going to tell you because I know what would have happened. I know what would have happened. Y'all know what would have happened if you had your other, your partner there and something like this happened. It's going to be on. And you don't, I just did not, I didn't want it. I didn't want that. And plus I was embarrassed. So now, days is going by, weeks is going by. They're calling me. This man is still on the run. So now, I said, let me just get myself together and start doing my homework. So I went to the library. Excuse me, y'all. I just gotta keep my mouth get dry, whatever. So now I said, let me do my homework. So I went to the library and I put his name in. So y'all already know, like, when you make copies, I know our library. I'm on the computer, and I had to actually pay. I had to pay for the information about this doctor. So now I sat there and I made copies. So now you got to walk to the other side to get your copies, like when you first walk in. So the young lady that worked there, she said, I got your copies, here you go. So she was like, are you okay? I was like, yeah. And I explained to her, check this out, y'all. I explained to her, like, what happened. So she was like, a doctor? She said, he's not a doctor. And I was like, huh? She said, look, the papers I printed out. He wasn't a doctor, he was an intern. So he was an intern. And he wasn't a psychiatrist. He was an intern for, excuse me, something totally different. And he was fired. He worked at 4 hospitals. The last hospital he was at, it was a pay. This is. I'm just telling you what the paper said, his record, because I had to pay $39.99 whatever to get this information. So the paper says he was terminated from. Um, we had 4 hospitals. The last hospital, a person had HIV, and he was told by a doctor, because he's an intern, to for that patient that had that, to um, write these prescriptions, give him these prescriptions, because the doctor had gave him the prescriptions. Come to find out, the young man been coming up there for help or whatever, and when he finally got to see the doctor, not the intern, he was like, "Well, you're taking the medicine or whatever." He was like, "I never had any medicine." He said, "What do you mean? Like, you've been having it? I've been writing." And come to find out, he wasn't giving it to the young man. He was not giving the young man the prescription. This is when they was writing the prescriptions, not the ones that go straight there like electronic. He never gave it to the young man, and so happened the young man passed away. Mm-hmm. Come to find out again, he was a fight, uh, like when they have like boxing, real boxing that come on TV or whatever. He was like the intern that would be there to help, whatever. So they said the guy. This is what I'm reading, y'all. They said the guy that was fighting him, the guys that was fighting. People were saying stop the fight, and you called the doctor in to look at him, look at him and make sure he's good. And he was like, "Yo, he's good." And the next minute, when the guy got up, he died. The guy died. There's 2 people killed. 2 people he killed from negligence. Okay, so now I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Okay, y'all. This is long, so I'm going to make this another part to this here, part 3, because this is very, very, very long. Okay, y'all. All right. Hit that like button and subscribe. Peace, y'all. I'm going to see you again. All right, y'all. Peace.